Right, so good afternoon, Liam Moran here, Captain Fantastic. That's how we're going to start this one.
Yeah.
Firstly, we can't start until we talk about the injury, and you've been out for 4 months. Could you give us a little bit more information about what that entails?
Yeah, so I've always had dodgy ankles, to be fair, probably throughout the last 4 or 5 years. I've had 3 bad injuries on my left ankle, always dislocating it. My right one I've done twice as well. So this time, I think it was the first game of the season. Was it Aston Villa, was it? I think the first one.
Yeah.
And I had a knock early doors, and I think I've tweaked something in my left ankle. And then, I don't know if you remember, Elvis and Owen clashed and obviously got injured. So they were can you come back? So I think I had 2 games out, played again. And then it was Skem, wasn't it, I think, in August. So just literally jumped up for an header, unchallenged completely, and something snapped in my ankle. And it was just literally, apparently it's an avulsion fracture. So a piece of bones come away and then kind of refuse or something in my ankle joint, and then it was catching. So I think you've probably seen I was warming up and I was able to kick the ball and that, but then I just couldn't run for weeks and months. So it was really frustrating, to be fair, because I could do little bits, but obviously not anything proper. So bit of a new injury through that one, but I've had this cortisone injection now. So that might last up to 6 months, but I've got to have surgery eventually. But I'm hoping to hang them up before then, to be fair, so I might avoid it by then.
I suppose that's the danger, really, when, injuries to other team members and you're the only person left to fill in that particular role. Yeah. And of course, it must be very frustrating for you there on the sidelines, knowing you've got this niggling injury and you just want to get involved. You just really want to get involved.
Yeah, that's the worst bit, when you know you can play kind of thing. And it's annoying because this time, usually I'll do all the rehab, I'll go to the gym every morning, but this time it just wasn't sorted out kind of thing. So I knew there was something kind of a bit more kind of wrong with it this time. But I went to see a specialist and he's saying that it's quite common kind of thing. But literally this piece of bone's just been catching kind of ligaments, and every time it does, it's swelling up more. So glad now though, fingers crossed, it literally is about a week after that injection I could run. And I was like, right, finally start getting back to fitness and training that, yeah.
So how are you currently? Are you back to near maybe full fitness, or are you still a little while away from there?
I think I'm probably a while. I don't think I'll ever get back to, because of the injuries and that, I'll probably never get back to 100%. It's the movement and it's not the same and stuff, but I can manage with it now. It's just about getting my legs back now. I've probably seen against China, I was miles off it, obviously, just, getting older as well. It's hard to get your legs back, but I'm working hard, so it's just getting the games in now. And obviously, I think there's another centre half gone, haven't they? So might be needed a bit more than a thought.
I suppose is that element of mind over matter. Every time you go out on the park now, it's I'm going to injure again. I'm going to tweak it again.
That's been my life though, for about 6 years. So I'm just used to it. They've said you've got to be prepared for it to kind of completely go. So I am kind of thing. And to be fair, I can't remember last time I played without a niggle or a bit of pain. To be fair, obviously it's a bit of a thing. We're getting older in it, so. Yeah, just one of them things.
Well, we're hoping a speedy recovery because we need you. We need every player here at Droylsden. But can you tell me your earliest memories of joining Droylsden?
I left Cheadle. It was around Christmas time, and then I was just playing with my mates team locally, really. And I wasn't planning on kind of coming back up, to be fair, because we're obviously getting on a little bit now. So I think it was Coops originally messaged me a couple of times on Twitter, but I wasn't usually I wasn't kind of going straight back to him. Usually I'd be yeah, but I was just kind of, I think I'd kind of had a bit of needed a break with Cheadle and that, so it was nice to have a couple of months just playing local and that. But then is it Leroy who kind of does a bit behind the scenes and that? He messaged me again. He was at Cheadle once with me, so he messaged me saying why didn't you tell me you'd left? I was well, I didn't really think to kind of thing, but he got on to me and then spoke to Coops, came in, and then as soon as I spoke to Pacey and all the management, I was looking forward to it kind of thing. And they said obviously we need someone a bit experienced for the running and that, so it didn't quite obviously work last season, but hopefully go one better this year. Yeah, I
mean, you have won the captain's armband several times, and there's a big flag with your name on it, Captain Fantastic. Which leads me to the next question. I believe you're a Chelsea fan.
I am, unfortunately, yeah.
So a bit of John Terry going on there, maybe?
Apparently so, yeah. Well, to be fair, all my mates think that I probably made that flag and bought it for myself, because they're always ripping me on Twitter and that, as you know. But yeah, no, it's class that. I say I've never really been anywhere that's experienced that. I've played all lower all my life kind of thing, so I've never really experienced it, so it's class to see. And obviously it's an honour to have the armband. It's a massive club, obviously, for this level. I've loved every single minute, obviously apart from the injury, which is annoying because I was flying in pre-season, feeling really fit and that, and then obviously go and get injured kind of first game, and then something else happened later on, but ready to be back now, yeah.
I mean, how have the lads responded to your predicament with your injury and everything? Are they really encouraging you, and they're trying to,
Probably not, to be fair. They're not very sympathetic, to be fair. But to be fair, I give it out loads on that, so obviously got to expect it back. But to be fair, even when I was coming back to training, you can see, obviously they're made up to have you back and that, and obviously no one's more made up than me. Even just putting a training kit on and going training, excited, I absolutely love it. So yeah, made up to be back in the fold, yeah.
I mean, how realistically is it promotion this year going to happen? Do we think Atherton are at the top at the moment? They're sort of running away a little bit with it. Is there a realistic chance?
With Claude backing out, we had a decent start, and then it kind of went into a bit of a blip, didn't it? And we had a bit of we fell quite behind. I think it was 10 points at one point, so we're 5 points behind them now. We've still got them to play. They've not really had a bad spell yet either, so that's coming for him. But I personally think we can, but I obviously don't want to be overconfident, but you've got to obviously be confident when you're doing it, aren't you, kind of thing. So we should be winning the league at the end of the day. We're the best side for me in this league, but it's the more games where you're expected to win, I think, where we struggle, and where I think, obviously, with it being a young side, I think the attitude sometimes is a bit like, oh, we'll beat these, whereas they're the ones where you've got to kind of get around them and get them up for it. As you know, the Nelsons and that will play well, but it's just the middle to the bottom end of the league. We kind of sometimes take it a little bit for granted, but hopefully we can get on a little run ourselves now and their little bad patch comes, yeah.
And you're surprised how big the fan base has got since we've come back over the last 2 seasons. You know, you're getting 650 people here, which is absolutely phenomenal when you consider the league we're in. I mean, how does that help you?
You don't really. So it's when I play it, you kind of switch off to it a bit, but like you feel it more than anything, kind of thing. You know, like if you go behind or anything, you can kind of obviously feel them kind of pushing you forward and what have you. Obviously, massive club again for this level, and it should be a lot higher. But yeah, I'd say that's another reason. Obviously, when I came in, I was like, I can't turn that opportunity up and have a go at. I was only planning to do it till the end of the season, hopefully try and get promoted, and then I might have had another rest again. But then they were like, trying to do it this year as well. So, but yeah, as you say, it's unbelievable support. You can't argue with it every single week, home and away, innit? Yeah.
Well, I think with all your injuries, you're always another season anyway.
Well,
we don't want to see you go.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're a vital cog in the big work of Droylsden. We want to see you here. We want to see all the players obviously firing all cylinders. So, realistically, where do you think Droylsden may end up in the next 6 months?
I'm going to say top. I honestly believe, like, if we can get on a run now, and as I said, I think they'll have a little bit of a blip at some point, and we still got to play them. So if we beat them 2 points behind and hopefully pick up points against, we've played like most of the top teams, but again, it's the ones that are a bit lower down that are the worrying ones. But as long as we have the right attitude, I don't see why we can't. I'd like to avoid the playoffs again, but again, to be fair, if we did drop into the playoffs, I'd be confident of going up by them as well. But obviously, it's a one-off game, innit? So anything can happen in them.
And obviously, you're always encouraging the lads when you're out injured. You can see on the sidelines there. Certain other players on certain other teams, you've been snarling at them a little bit, and one thing or another.
Yeah, I'm actually a nice sound lad, but yeah, I get into it kind of thing. But yeah, of course I do. Yeah, I want them to obviously win, even if I'm not playing. I want us to win. And I said to them, I want you to try and keep us in with a chance of having a little title when I get back as well. So they have done, to be fair. So fingers crossed I don't mess it up for everyone now. And
well, everyone here is hoping at Droylsden that you have a speedy recovery. We want you back on that part. We want you to be as part of the squad. We really want you to do well, and hopefully we'll be up another league next season.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe a bit of silverware on the way. But prepare for today's game. Let's have a good result. And again, thank you for your time. Appreciate it, Liam. Thanks very much.
Oh, when the Bloods go marching in. Oh, when the Bloods go marching in. Oh, when the Bloods go marching in. I want to be in that number. Oh, when the Bloods go marching in. Oh, when the Bloods go marching in. Oh, when the Bloods go.